So why have blockchains failed to launch at scale? They struggle with performance, functionality, and ease of adoption. What are the solutions to these problems? So let's look at current blockchain challenges versus TapestryX. So the first thing about current blockchains is they're customized. They're customized at the front end. Each smart contract is unique to its use case, which means while you may have a solution that works for that use case, to adapt it for another one, you need to custom code it. They have latency. Consensus processes, mining, or validators, independent validators, all introduce latency to the process, which means they can't be real time. There's limited performance. They're not scalable. Consensus scales from a computational basis exponentially. In other words, it gets slower as it gets bigger. The memory scalability references the fact that you have to keep the entire history of the ledger in active memory because they're just timestamp transfers of ownership. And there's limited or diminishing capacity or finite capacity with validation methods such as proof of stake. Ultimately, they're simple balance records. They're not really ledgers. They're just recording an action on an asset as of the block in the history of when it occurred. So these are timestamp transfers of ownership only, and you've got that continuous expanding record, which we talked to earlier. And there's limited to no interoperability with legacy infrastructure or other networks. There's a difficulty in their adoption and also a transition between these environments. And while there's some layer 2 or other protocols that bridge between networks, there's not really a solution to move them between a network to network or network to legacy infrastructure. So TapestryX is a differentiating distributed ledger technology. So you can see here from the topology, the counterparties transact with each other and record their transactions on their nodes. We also have the concept of an airlock, which allows you to interface with legacy infrastructure or go to networks, because there's likely not to be just one big network covering all transactions. So what is it that differentiates TapestryX? Well, we're configurable for any asset or life cycle. This is key because it means we're agnostic to the process, the asset, or the life cycle, so we can be configured for any use case. There's no custom coding to set up a TapestryX network. We operate in real time. We call it a self-synchronizing distributed ledger technology. What we mean by that is that the network can synchronize on the transaction data alone. We've removed the need for mining, consensus, or independent validators. So because of that, we have high performance. We're only concerned with generating transactions and validating transactions. Those are both linearly scalable processes. And their capacity is dependent on the size of the transaction versus the network hardware, which can be very high indeed. We actually have double entry accounting. We're actually posting accounting journals in our ledger and including that in the hash-linked record. But more importantly, we have the concept of starting balances, transactions, and ending balances, so we can archive the transactions and carry forward the balances. We have the concept of a transacting period, which then gives a finite amount to active memory, but also allows us with double entry accounting to post payables and receivables as of the future. If you think about any current blockchain, all they are is a record from today backwards. They don't record anything that's future dated. And because of the airlock, we're interoperable with legacy infrastructure or other networks, which also means that we can be implemented at small scale and then grow as the network expands. We don't have to take over a market in a day. So overall, we have this real-time proof of consistency and completeness without the need of mining, consensus, or independent validation. TapestryX is a patented transaction protocol for the world. And we received our patent, and you can see it at the bottom of the screen now. Thank you. See more videos and articles at my LinkedIn profile, or go to the Blockheads Thoughts Distributed on YouTube. As the Internet Protocol made communication consistent, TapestryX will do the same for the secure recording and transfer of digital assets. go to our website at tapestryx.com to book a demo. Thank you.